G20 के लोकाचार पर आधारित दुनिया में शांति की संस्कृति को बढ़ावा देने के लिए विज्ञान, धर्म और तत्वज्ञान की अनूठी तथा ऐतिहासिक 9वीं वैश्विक संसद वाराणसी के श्री काशी विश्वनाथ धाम कॉरिडोर में आयोजित की गई थी। सर्वश्रेष्ठ वैज्ञानिक और आध्यात्मिक ज्ञान तथा तत्व ज्ञान को एक साथ लाते हुए शांति तथा सद्भावना की संस्कृति को बढ़ावा देने और एक शांति प्रिय समग्र वैश्विक समाज का विकास करने के तरीकों पर इन 3 दिवसीय संसद में चर्चा हुई। काशी में आने वाले तीर्थ यात्रियों तथा भक्तों की आसान आवाजाही के लिए प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी द्वारा बनाए गए काशी विश्वनाथ कॉरिडोर को विश्वधर्मी प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर विश्वनाथ कराट जी ने काशी विश्वनाथ ज्ञान कॉरिडोर का रूप दे दिया और यहीं पर संपन्न हुई विज्ञान, धर्म और तत्वज्ञान को समर्पित 9वीं वैश्विक संसद। नेशनल असेसमेंट एंड एक्रेडिटेशन काउंसिल के अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर भूषण पटवर्धन ने अपने विचार प्रकट किए।
I remember Dr. Karad presented it when the new millennium was coming up. When Indian Science Congress convention was happening in Pune, he dreamed the same vision what is being presented in this session. How to convert these spiritual centers into knowledge centers, and so he chose Alandi there. And you won't believe that I still cannot forget Dr. Karad. The show, on one side there were Nobel laureates sitting, and on the other side there were all saints sitting. Sangam of this spirituality and science actually happened on the bank of Indrayani. And now he has taken from there, from Alandi to Kashi. And this transformation, I was telling him, and he is very modest, he told me that I only pray that the ego doesn't come in between. And I also congratulate him for consistency. In education as a teacher, I have been in education as a regulator, and now as assessor. I have not seen such a consistency for the cause, and that also for the cause for people, for the cause of knowledge, for the cause of society, for the nation and for the world. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, what we talk about, The cause which he has taken is continuously and consistently following tirelessly. Second important thing is this continuing of tradition is also not very common. You may see one person has created a huge empire, and after him what? Here I could see that the whole generation is committed for the cause. And that is very rare. And when I say generation, not only his family, but his faculty members are also part of that generation. His entire staff is committed for that. And so I was not able to even imagine what it must have taken for all of you to come all the way from Pune and build the whole show here, because nothing is available here. Everything from pin, you must have brought it from Pune, and the whole crowd, what has been gathered here, and all of them who have come from different villages, from different spiritual centers, from different walks of life, different thought leaders, spiritual leaders, scholars. This kind of a Sangam is really, really unusual, and so I thought that I was really blessed to be here. But one thing I want to tell you, that the philosophy and not only thinking about it, but actually practicing it and making it happen. The epitome of that I could see in his idea, and he says that I have not done it. Again, he says the same thing, I have not done it. But when you go in that dome, world's largest dome has become a knowledge center. It has become the world's largest library and the most valuable knowledge resource, And the design of it, if you see, it is such a nicely designed, And I'm sure it must have been inspired and he followed it and it did happen. He said there is no architect, there was no architect, there was no planning. He sat, he conceived, he imagined, and he made it happen. So these things are possible only for blessed souls. And Dr. Karad, you are indeed a blessed soul. And the work what you are doing is a God's work. This is not a work of a university alone. University, and this university has emerged as a university, a role model university, wherein the ethos, global ethos, are cultivated, nurtured, and transformed. But this is not only about one particular thought process. If you go to that dome, you will find practically all religions combined. Om equal to is equal to mc square. If you read my write-up in the souvenir, you will find that I am basically a biochemist. I come from science, and in that, Alex is sitting here, who was my co-worker. I conceived in 2003, when Human Genome Project was coming up, I conceived a book called Om to Genome, because my work was in genomics, And then I remembered that Om to Genome. After these years, I thought that that's not the right title for the book, Because Om to Genome, I talked about that time because the genome was emerging, and I thought that genome is a great thing. But today we know, and so we have changed this name, Genome to Om. So this is completing a cycle. And why Om to Genome or Genome to Om? Because I expressed or I imagined genome representing modern science and Om representing the spiritual and knowledge legacy. If you look at both of them, earlier we used to see philosophy and science were one. Then later on they were separated, Spirituality is the basis of that, or bridge between them. And I remember my hero, and she is a woman, but still she is my hero, Candace Pert. Candace Pert, she wrote a book. She was nominated for Nobel. She could not because of her male boss tried to steal it from her. And she resisted. She resigned as a director of NIH Neurology Institution. And then she is the one who discovered opioid receptors. So you can imagine the level at which she is there. After doing all that great science and neurology, she wrote a book called Molecules of Emotions. And if you ask me to distill that book into one line, which she has not written in that book, I am distilling it out. She is saying in that book that one day will come when we may not require any physical medicine to be taken inside our body to heal. We will sit, we will meditate, and body will secrete. So this is what is happening all over the world. Consciousness has become one of the top researcher field outside, In India, what are we doing? Why only Dr. Karad has to talk about it? There should be hundreds of more universities and institutions, and students should be coming forward to know what we are really. Because science is able to give you answers, what is the evolution and what are the theories and what. They are not able to really give you many answers, and in search of those big questions, I think this kind of a pilgrimage and knowledge, what Dr. Karad you are doing here in Kashi is extremely valuable. I feel that this thought going to students is extremely important, not only for India, for the whole world, because we cannot get caught into the reductionist scientific approach alone. That is not enough. The reductionist approach which started from Galileo and all other streams, that also is good. Because of that we got all these developments of science and technology. But that is not enough, because the whole and part, both are important. Our focus in technology has gone in parts and we are forgetting the whole. So this effort of yours is going to remind us about the importance of this whole. Whole and part relationships are extremely important, and therefore spirituality, pilgrimage centers and knowledge centers, philosophy, science and spirituality, all these bridges are extremely important in today's world when the world is getting restless, when the world is getting stressed, when the world is getting violent, your effort towards peace are going to be extremely useful. I hope that this model of MIT is adopted by many other universities, and it becomes actually core part of our education. So this, our emphasis on STEM in education also is a problem, because while doing that we are ignoring humanities, we are ignoring art, we are ignoring culture, and right brain is equally important.